o'clock on the dot.
All right, let's go. So stand.
Call to order 7:08.
Pledge of allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, roll call. We have Vecchio,
Present.
McCudden,
Present.
Strawson,
Present.
Kennedy, Medlin.
Yep.
All right, all here we have a quorum. You can proceed.
Okay. First we got the prior minutes. Yeah, the minutes. All right, let's get that first. One thing at a time.
I wanted to kind of go with the beat this thing over. Okay, yeah, I didn't unhook it from my accumulator yet. That don't take long.
Likewise.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
I second the motion.
Okay. So we need to do roll call then. Vecchio,
Yes.
McCudden,
Yes.
Strawson,
Yes.
Kennedy,
Yes.
Medlin.
Yep. Okay, first the accounts. Town bank accounts, $12,077.24. GA, $66,413.77. Park, $291.44. Road and Bridge, $81,104.28. Equipment and Building, $88,412.83. The Joint Bridge, $113,434.77. Okay, one of the things I want to talk to you guys, tell you guys about is this. This is because we're paying monthly to Ansel Link. You guys may not have this, but what happens is we still get a bill once a month for, and the only time we use these guys anymore, we didn't use them at all except for this Brazana one that we got. That's the last one we got left. So every time they got to show up for court, $700. So that's all we got. That's the only thing we got.
They're just so much a month, there's no interest, right?
Well, it's, yeah, right. And it's about 3.5 hours every time they got to go to court, so we get charged for that every month anyway. So I just wanted you guys to be aware of that because it's in the bills as a monthly deal. All right, for the town bills, ready? Julie Quigley, 200. Sir Fair, $79.95. McGrath, $135. That's copier rental. I'll go back through that. ComEd, $249.92. Ansel Blink, $1,000. So we got phone reimbursement for myself, Sherry, and Jeff Sorensen. That's $50 a piece. Postage for Sherry was $55. And so then we got salaries, supervisor $791.76, clerk $416.67. The 4 trustees at $80 a piece. Mary, the assessor, $666.67. Road commissioner, $1,000 for a total of $5,064.97. So you guys look them over. Need a motion to accept those bills as well.
I'll make a motion to accept it.
You want to do the? You want to do? Okay, we'll just do the assessor and the park both in there because there's nothing on them. Yeah. Okay, the assessor is nothing. The park is nothing. So let me get those. All right. So I guess it's going to be those two, and the GA is nothing done. All 3 of those.
I'll make a motion to approve the town assessor and park as presented. And the GA.
The GA will be a separate one, but you can do that
Yes.
too. Okay.
I second that.
That was McCudden.
Yeah. And Billy.
All right,
Okay.
roll call for that. Vecchio,
Yes.
McCudden,
Yes.
Strawson,
Yes.
Kennedy,
Yes.
Medlin.
Yep. Okay, the roads. These are all from Ace Hardware. We got $14.96, and there's no description in that one, so I'm not sure what that one was, but we got the invoice for
That
it.
was a past due balance.
Oh, okay, gotcha. We have some fittings for the oil drum barrels over there that we use, and that was $80.88. We got 2 for welding rods of $17.63 each. We got a cartridge filter for the vacuum cleaner, which I'm sure Sherry's gonna be real pleased with after what happened in here. We got extension cord at $53.98. We got some tech screws to put this pegboard up, $7.73. We got some painting equipment where they were painting the gates yellow. So then you got some brushes to paint the gates, that was $6.29. Got some grinding wheels at $14.38. When you say the garage wall,
Behind you,
huh?
that display behind you,
Okay, so what is that, just for accessories for the wall? I guess I'm not sure. It's,
for the picture and stuff and that, yeah.
okay, for all the fasteners for that, gotcha. 1705, 1851, and then some plow repair, 3264. Fuel at We Sip Liquors, your favorite vendor, $66, $77, $74.60, $76.01. That was all fuel. Robinson Engineering, this is some surveying work, I think, for the road when it was damaged out there. We got a lawsuit going on with that. So we got to pay for that, and we're going to get back through this lawsuit, I guess, that we filed. This is the way it was explained to me. So that's what it's for, guys. And Homewood Disposal, 5124. Roto-Wall Farms for all these new construction signs Joe got for us there, $650. Then we got payroll there, Sitterly, $1241. Jim Coyle, $840. Vicky, $600. Second week, Sidley of $1360. James Coyle at $765. That was for 2 weeks anyway, I'm sorry about that. Vicky at $382.50. And the total is $8111.42. Got it, fellas? Any questions, Leonard?
Yeah, this lawsuit with ExxonMobil, Jeff, where are we at with that?
We're waiting on them to make up the call here.
To make up what?
To make the call, they're gonna let me know this week, only get with me on that.
As far as out-of-court settlement or just the
No,
status?
No, just status. To be the status on what they've done. We haven't heard anything more since they did their study.
No, is this for Rivals Road as well as this one out here, or just this one?
Rivals Road, Baloo Road, and Indian Trail Road.
Okay. What are we looking at the end product? Any idea? What's your guesstimate? What are we looking at?
As far as,
Settlement, minimum settlement cost?
well.
Or damage, I should say.
the engineer fee was estimated at 1.3 million.
Say it one more time.
1.3 million,
That's to totally redo all those 3 roads.
yeah.
1.3. All right, thank you. Now, are we going to have to continue to pay these studies and stuff up to the time that lawsuit is?
That's the only study we paid. And it's turned into the bill for ExxonMobil at $44,000. That was our cut of it. The
So-
$1,500.
So we are liable for this cut. We just have to wait for reimbursement after the suit settles.
Right.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. I'll take a motion to approve the road bills as presented.
I second the motion.
All right, roll call to approve the road bills as read. Vecchio,
Yes.
McCubbin,
Yes.
Strawson,
Yes.
Kennedy,
Yes.
Medlin.
Yep. Okay, the next thing in line, guys, is I have these 3, you guys have these 3 letters from Tony. The first one we got, it's all about the playground equipment at the park. The first one was in June 23 of 2017. We were notified about that playground equipment.
Hold on.
I only have one.
I don't have one.
You only got one?
I got one that's dated March 5th.
I don't
Those
have
were
it.
the ones that I sent to you guys.
Okay, all right, gotcha.
Did you
All right,
read those?
yes.
You guys
In
know-
your
okay.
board
All right,
packets.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Right, so this one didn't come to me, it came to Joanne. And absolutely nothing was done about it. So I asked these guys to come down January 29 of 2020. The report was pretty much identical to the one they gave to Joanne, except it was about 2.5 years later. So they recommended to us to either repair it or pull it out. So here's the thing. First of all, and foremost, the most important part is that the playground equipment was not suitable to be in a park. It was residential playground equipment in a commercial atmosphere. there is an ASTM number, I think it's F1487 or something like that, that refers to the type of equipment that has to be in a park. And so residential is different. So basically, the equipment, I guess what I'm saying is the equipment should have never been put in there. So it was just put in, it should have never been there. So to repair it means nothing because you can't leave it there anyway. And basically, Torma, when they sent us the letter, they identified that portion in the second paragraph there, and it says that we needed to have assembly instructions on file and the materials for the equipment and all these things in a permanent file and updated. What they were looking for is that ASTM certification on that playground equipment, which it doesn't exist because it didn't come from Menards or Lowe's or anywhere like that. It was built at home. So we have no certification for it. So either way, it had to come out, no matter what. Plus the fact that it was unsafe, so we moved it out. And then they followed up in February with a letter to that. Matt was the gentleman that I spoke to, the loss control consultant, when he came out, and he went over that thing with me. And then in February, his boss followed up with a letter, and that letter said, I want to stress the importance of the recent recommendations of the loss control consultant. So basically what she was saying was, this is important that you do something about this. So obviously it went 2.5 years and then some, and now she says, you need to do something. So the equipment was getting in bad shape, but it doesn't matter. Even if it was like brand new, it had to come out because it did not belong there. It couldn't stay in the park. It wasn't the kind of equipment that could be in a park. So anyway, I'm just letting you guys know that, so you're familiar with what happened there.
So that was originally presented to the previous board in
2017.
2017?
June of 2017.
And we received a letter, or you received a letter
January 2020.
in regards to managing the risk,
That was in February 13th.
February 13th.
Yeah.
So actually, managing the risk, to me, means you better put heads up, if not your policy's on the line.
It's a serious
That's
thing.
my interpretation.
When an insurance company tells you that you need to manage your risk, that means to me that you're overexposing us. So that means we're out there further than we'd like to be, and we're asking you to start to manage your risk. So this is the reason that we had to do it. Plus the fact that you don't want kids hurt on the thing anyway. So anyway, you don't have to vote on that. It is what it is. So Sherry gave me this list of, for the park report. We've had $30 donated to the park, but tonight the guys came in, Tony came in and gave another 60. Okay, so that's what you got there for the park. What do you got right now? Yep, the other thing is, guys, that we talked last month about that credit card so we could pay those bills that come in the middle of the month like that. Well, we did get the card, so Sherry will be using that to take care of those things. And Jeff will also be able to use that so that he can buy parts when he needs to, and then you guys can vote on that.
Now, what bills are that to be covered? What
Same-
bills would be covered under that?
same-
That's just for, like, for AT&T, like the cellular
The stuff
device
that's due right
that's
now.
prepaid.
Gotcha.
And also any, like, staples or any paper supplies or anything like that, or postage. So instead of me going out and purchasing all of those things and then going for a reimbursement, it'll just go straight to the credit card, and then you guys can approve it through there.
So the town will have one,
The town will have one.
And the road
the
district,
road district will have one assigned to the road district account, I'm
Yes.
assuming?
different account, yep.
Okay.
Okay, now you got the continued business, guys. We got this payroll service. I think we're just going to abandon that thing and bring QuickBooks in-house and get trained on that and do it ourselves. All of the accounting, we're going to do our best to get it brought in-house as soon as we can, too. The park committee is the next thing on the line. The park committee was canceled basically because I made some phone calls to some folks about the park committee, and I asked and received an answer about the park committee that it had to be done the same way that a town meeting is done, if it's going to be a committee. So the folks that I talked to that were involved in this would know it wasn't actually a committee. Nobody voted it to be a committee. But anyway, they chose, and then there was some concern because Sherry and I were there. So it was like they didn't want Sherry and I there. So we felt that it'd be better for the citizens to get themselves together and talk about the park on their own if they felt more comfortable without us being there. So we just said no for the park committee. And most everyone knows by now, and I'm going to discuss that a little bit, that we're going to have a vote coming up next month regarding the park. So basically anything that would be done in that committee would probably end up being pushed away anyway. So those rules are, so that's gone. The park rules are gone until we get settled on what we're going to do with the park. So everything is just sitting there right now. So that's the way it is. All right. The next thing is, so that's done, that's done. Okay. The annual town meeting will be up.
Change
Pardon?
of payroll service.
Yeah, I said that we weren't going to do it. We're just going to let it sit, Sherry, and try to bring it in-house, okay?
Okay, sorry, I missed that.
Okay, so the annual town meeting, that'll be on April 14th. So what will be there on the agenda so far is just going to be obviously the Pledge of Allegiance. We are going to elect a moderator, the oath of office, the approval of the 2019 annual meeting minutes, discussion and action, annual financial statement, a highway commissioner's report, and then we'll list some surplus items which Jeff is putting a list together. They will be brought up that night. And then we're also going to have a vote. So some of the residents have brought us a petition that is going to be voted on next month. So I was asked, and I'm more than happy to read to you tonight. I did the best I could, I just couldn't get louder than that. I've been yelling over air compressors all my life, but never one like that, so. But anyway, so basically what's going to be, you're going to be asked to vote on this, it's going to be brought up. So I'm going to read to you what you're going to be asked to vote on. No person shall be prohibited from township corporate property without court order obtained through a civil court action in the name of the township in the circuit court. The supervisor and town board are hereby ordered that the entire township park, Rivals Lookout Park, shall forever be a public park for the free use of the public, and that no fee or payment of any kind shall be mandated for use of the park or any portions of the park, including the pavilion. The supervisor and town board are hereby ordered that the township park, Rivals Lookout Park, shall, among other things, and I'm not quite sure what other things is yet, so maybe you guys can think about this for the next 30 days, because I don't know what other things is. Shall, among other things, provide electricity, water, and overnight camping in the same location as previous years. No person or persons shall lease, rent, reserve, or set aside any portion of the township park, including the pavilion, for any reason. So what this says is that all of these amenities are going to be provided for free. So all you guys got to know that. You're going to be giving away free water, free electricity, free camping, free pavilion. All that is going to be given away for free. So you can decide what free means to you.
That's going to pertain to everyone according to this. You know, it's going to, so you're going to have the outer towner population, anybody that wants to swing through, possible transients, people just want to camp out there all summer long, hook their air conditioner off, we're going to be paying the Doug bill. There's an electricity provider, you know.
We're going to be paying the bill until there's no money, and then it'll have to be turned off. So if there's no budgeted money for it, and we give these things away for free, then what's going to happen is, worst case scenario, heaven forbid, we have to close the park down because there's no funding. So this is the extent of what we're asking for, what people are going to ask us for. This is a big jump. You have no idea how big this jump is. You could potentially, and I've heard them tell me they will. You have farmers down there filling their water tanks. It's free water. They'll be down there filling their water tanks, and they'll be filling their sprayers. Thousands of gallons being pumped with that 220-volt pump. Think about what the electric bill is going to look like for that. So you need to really consider what this is, what you are being asked to as citizens to pay for. That's a big jump. So anyway, you got 30 days to think about it and get in here and vote for it, whether you like it or you don't like it. So the other thing is, I want to get to this, Lenny,
So,
All right.
because I need approval of the.
okay, I need approval for the agenda.
There's your approval.
I'll take that as a yes, I guess. Motion made, second, let's move.
I'll make a motion to approve agenda for next month's meeting.
I'll second that.
Okay.
For the annual township meeting?
Yes.
Annual township meeting, yes.
Uh-huh,
So you're approving the agenda for
The tentative agenda.
yeah,
annual
township meeting.
township.
I just have one question on this. Are we going to have the same thing set up like an election day so that we know the people that are registering to come to this meeting are voters of the town, of this township?
Yes,
Probably
everybody
have
has to check in.
one door.
I think it's required.
Yeah, one door, and everybody will be checked when they get here. Okay,
All right, so I need to do a roll call. All in favor of approving the agenda for the annual township meeting as read tonight? Beckie?
Yes.
McCubbin?
Yes.
Strawson?
Yes.
Kennedy? Yep. Medlin?
yep. Okay, I have another little surprise from Torma regarding the park. So I called Torma to find out what portion of our insurance is related to the park, as far as how much money it goes, so we know exactly what, we're trying to get real numbers to know what this park costs. So it's $1,377 a year is the cost for the insurance at the park, okay? So here's the deal. When she asked me, and her name is Beth Irich, wonderful lady. When she asked me this question, she said, so who does the work at the park? I said, volunteers do it. She said, that's not going to work. I said, okay. She said, you have no workman's comp insurance on a volunteer, and it exposes the township to huge liability. So in this letter, she said this, it is a township decision, but it would be recommended that the township employees operate power-driven machinery. So anything run by power, she is telling us, you have no insurance, but if you want to run around with no insurance, that's up to you. That means we won't cover you if something happens. So now, here's where you're at. You got one township employee that can cut the grass, and that's what's going to have to be done. So, here's the way this works. There's a cost to everything. The road district is going to have their employee cut that grass. I've been told by numerous people that have worked down there that it's about a 10-hour job to cut that grass and weed whack on a really good day. So that's about once a week at $200 a piece every time they cut the grass. So it's $800 a month to keep the grass cut down there. Somebody's got to pay for that. Jeff's not going to give it away. So somebody's got to pay that $800 a month. So that's what you're at there. So I just want you guys to know that.
$800 a month. How many, Kathleen, how many acres is down there?
10,
There's 10 acres down there, Rick? Exactly 10 acres?
close enough.
Okay. Guys, I actually come out of the business, we cut a lot of grass. And if it's gonna take 10 hours, cut them 10 acres, that's about right time you're turning in, I would think. My bill would be a hell of a lot more than that, okay? I run commercial equipment, and we're running between $45 and $60 an hour. So I would be between $400 and $600 per cut. So having Jeff do it is a hell of a deal. But that's still, I'm still per hour, per man hour. It makes no difference. I mean, how many guys I got there, it's still per man hour.
I'm going to do this right.
If I got 2 guys, they're gonna do it in 5 hours, it's still gonna be a 10-hour bill. Likewise at the park, if it's a 10-hour job, we got 2 people there, theoretically it should be a 5-hour job for 2 people.
I'd pour it out.
All right, so.
Okay, now here's what we got. We got a resolution, guys, that this is going to be to establish the maintenance of the township. Now this is what we were told for all township properties. The grass out here, I don't care, you have to be a township employee to cut the grass and run a weed whacker. And, you know, down over in the shed in the park, I found a chainsaw over there. Like, heaven forbid somebody go over there and start playing around with a chainsaw if they don't know how to use it. So we should be, I think Sue wants to try it, but I'm not going to let her do it. But anyway, this is the liability of doing things the right way. I had someone say to me the other day, someone I really put a lot of confidence in, this is what township government gone awry for 10 years looks like. Everything has been done wrong. So now we got to take big swings to get it back. And it's painful. It's painful. And it's costly to do it the right way. So, but it has to be done. You know, no, I don't think anybody here truly appreciates having to say it's going to cost $800 a month to cut the grass at that park. But that's what it's going to cost to do it the legal way so that our insurance carrier will be happy to hang around. And I don't think we want to lose that. So anyway, here's a resolution that simply says that the road district employees will be responsible for operating any and all power machinery on township property. And the township property includes but is not limited to Township Hall, Road District Building, and Rivals Outlook Park. So you guys are going to approve this tonight, or hopefully you will, that nobody can run any power-driven machinery except township employees.
Okay. Question.
Yep.
In that case, the way I'm reading this is that the golf club down there should not be down there doing anything with power equipment.
You're
as
correct.
well.
You're correct. Nobody.
No.
Nobody just means nobody.
Okay, let's take it a little bit farther then. There's been improvements made down there by the golf club, and I would like to see that any improvements that they decide they're gonna make and make them pro bono, they need to be approved by this board in its entirety.
Absolutely.
Anything.
Not just them, anybody.
Yes, anybody, yes.
Anybody that does anything.
We had the same, we had the same problem with one of her folks with the playground equipment, okay? People got together, decided to put it in, not doing any research. And now everybody's, upper workers is gone. Well, it was illegal to put it in the first time because it wasn't proper. I priced out commercial playground equipment this week. I sent it to Mike. Globalindustries.com, if anybody wants to look at it, it's all commercial equipment. You guys can start about 5,000 and go to 30,000. See where you want to land it in there. And that's just the equipment. That's not counting the installation. That's not counting excavating it out to a 9-inch depth. ASMA requires a 9-inch depth of pea gravel for safety. You can call Eicher over here and ask him what he would charge to put a 9-inch depth in, or whatever size, and it's going to be a sizable amount of money.
That was 9 inches with the equipment that was there. They measure from the highest point and determine what your depth will be for that, right?
It's a minimum of 9 inches. Minimum of 9 inches.
Could be more.
Yes.
Okay, so we need to vote on this and get it done.
I move that we accept resolution 20-02 as presented to us.
I'll second that.
Alright, so to accept resolution 20-02 as presented to the board. Roll call, Vecchio,
Yes.
McCubbin,
Yes.
Strawson,
Yes.
Kennedy,
Yes.
Medlin.
Yep.
Alright, all in favor, motion passed.
Okay. Public comment. Got 30 minutes. You got it.
Hi, Selena Lynch. So I've been following some of the park stuff going on. My question, I have a couple questions. As far as the disc golf goes, and I'm not a disc golfer, but I saw a picture where it really, to me, it kind of shocked me. It looked like the whole park was a disc golf park. And it may or may not be true, I don't know. But I want to know, being that we have the issue with the playground equipment, we have the issue with all this volunteer thing, what improvements were made to the park in the name of disc golf? When were they made? And with whose authority were they made?
The most recent one was made in 2018.
The bench,
Pardon me?
the bench is in the pads?
There was some concrete poured in 2018. That's the most recent ones that I was told of. I'm not look, I don't know everything about that part. What I'm telling you is that's what I was told. So, but here's the deal. Those improvements were made before I got here. And these guys got here. So what we've said tonight is that there will be no other improvements made other than the ones approved by the board from here forward. I can't, I'm not gonna go down there and dig up concrete and start ripping it out.
So, okay, as long as, I guess we're aware now.
We are,
And then, as far as credit cards go, we had this issue in the past, but there is no law or statute that allows for a township to have a credit card. Because all spending must be approved before it's spent. So just like you've noticed probably the debit card transactions, the staple, whatever, hidden the Grundy County bank accounts as you're trying to figure out the mess. There was credit card involved. There
It
was
was
credit
actually,
card
just to
for
correct that, it was a debit
road
card.
district,
it was debit
right?
cards.
Debit card,
Debit card.
yeah, there was no. it was no
So
credit card.
regardless, what I'm imploring you guys to do, 2 of you have been here before through this, is that do not spend any money without prior authorization. Look at the problems with the park. Money was spent, Menard, Whitman, wherever, it was spent. And it was never authorized, or it was authorized and nobody knew what was happening. It came out of the accounts. And I feel that you guys have just set yourself up by approving a credit card for the township and for the road district, if I heard it right, that is not lawful. So I just ask that you reconsider it.
Can I address that to either Kirk or John, one of the two? It's not lawful to use or to spend or to pay a bill without an approval. But seeing how you get a statement on a credit card, and you have to approve the statement, does that offset that requirement?
I'm not sure how to answer your question. The only thing I've ever read is the statutes. Community colleges are the only ones that are approved by statute to offer credit cards to their trustees. No other statute has that power.
And you can say, oh, well, this
And
is the
part
bill
of it-
for the pizza or whatever.
Part of it
Then you gotta
is back to the avoidance,
Itemized.
part of it's back to the avoidance of a potential fraudulent situation. And that's why it's before the board to approve purchases, where with a credit card, you end up with all kinds of purchases that may or may not have been,
Valid, yeah.
valid, and they may have all been valid, but when they're not before the whole board, that's where the issues come in, that you've seen.
Okay, you can all work with credit cards, buy stuff at the township.
Situation, okay, he's got a machine down, he's gonna wait a month for the approval so he can buy something.
You can submit
Sometimes
reimbursement.
it's 6 months.
But there's,
You shouldn't have to have a process in place. Take care of that, your road
There's so
commissioner,
many places
and
that
there's
won't do anything.
different
They'll call it
statutes
ship
for you
parts
guys.
in.
Right.
if he's going,
But trying to address this question, it's a tough subject because it's against the norm that we've done for so many years.
I think really better than the township needing that card, we were trying to make a provisional way for instance, in the middle of winter, that truck breaks down and they gotta get some parts, and they have no way to get those parts. They can't wait 2 weeks, you gotta plow snow. So we were just trying to get them a way to be able to get things going.
And here's the big difference. You have sole authority to make purchases. All you do is audit his bills if they were correct and
Gotcha.
accurately within the compliance of law.
So he would be
You've got
more
far more
likely to be able to do
flexibility
it.
than they do as a board because you're a sole elected official of your local government, which is the road district.
Well, what I'm getting at is I'm putting it on my credit card. Okay? I don't get to see the board until the following month. So now I eat the interest for the whole month.
I wouldn't do that.
And what he's saying, I think what he's saying is that it would probably be more tolerable for you because you can make those decisions to use the card.
Right, he's,
He has the ability to do that.
right.
Right, so that's what he's saying, Jeff, you can use the card, but the township cannot, he's saying that he does not believe it's in our best interest to use a card, correct?
Yeah, just from.
It may be illegal,
Just from the fact that you're supposed to approve the bills,
sure.
approve purchases that are being made. Some statutes are even more restrictive. park districts, it specifically spells out, no board member can create a debt for the, for the park without prior approval. Well, that language isn't in the township code, but there's similar language for approving bills. So it's one of those deals that, that's why you guys get the big buck, get to make that decision.
So we could actually approve a credit card acquisition for the road district only, and that would be within the guidelines.
Right.
It's not your job to approve credit.
Yeah, you don't approve things for,
Well, no, I mean,
You just pay his bills.
I
All we do
understand,
is pay his
understand.
bills. That's right. That's all we're doing. We're not
Understand.
approving anything. Go ahead, ma'am.
How many different,
Can I have your name? I'm sorry.
I'm Tracy Lozano, we just moved here.
That's okay.
How many different vendors are being used? Can't we just set up a 30-day billing process? And then he doesn't have to fork out the money of his own, and you just get billed at the end of the month, and then you guys approve the bill.
And generally, we do. We have vendors that, we have vendors that we use, but sometimes there's a specific part that maybe they wouldn't carry, and then you would need to get that part.
Okay,
Not
well,
always.
I just out this facility, and sometimes our vendors leave that other part on another vendor and then bill us. So I mean, is that an option, instead of making him responsible for a credit card? I'm just saying that's an option, instead of giving a credit card out.
Yeah, we're not gonna do it right now. He asked,
Okay, all right.
Okay, anybody else?
he asked if it was possible to rescind the motion for the approval of the credit card, which was done last month. And so, I mean, it's something we can definitely look into, but that's not something we can do tonight.
Okay, Mrs. Grimmy.
Sherry Rivera. I just want to add on to what Mike was talking about, voting next month for the park. He talks about paying for the water and the electric and all that, and I understand the township is in bad way right now. But I think we also need to take into account, we've had donations given to this park over the years that are unaccounted for. That would be money we could still donate towards the park. And if we have an accounting for that money, who knows how much we could come up with
We're gonna find
that
out.
we haven't in the past.
Because now we're gonna find out how much we can come up with.
Right.
Because it'll be controlled in a different way, so if we can come up with it, then we're gonna find out.
I just want people
Yep,
to
I'm
keep
with
that in
Connie.
mind.
I've got a page of questions here, so just let me get through them. I would like to know why the board, and maybe you are, but Wesley people are way more educated on what's been going on. We've got proof of it. I'd like to know, is the board doing anything about Kathleen's backdoor dealings? Why are these disc golf guys getting special privileges? They go down there. Are they under contract? Have they leased the park? Why is it they can go down there, they can pour concrete, they have golf baskets all over the place now, to where you guys stated in your committee that camping was a liability. You don't think that going down there at any time with all these golf guys throwing discs, if somebody gets hit in the head, if a kid gets, you don't think that's not a liability to this township?
Well, I asked that question to Matt from Torma, and he said we have no problem with disc golf. So I can only tell you what our insurance guy told me.
And
I
that doesn't make
specifically
any
walked up
sense.
to those things and
Why,
asked him.
and why are they scheduled for the rest of the summer, every summer? Every Sunday, starting at noon. Why, Kathleen Kennedy, when you shut the park off at dusk and made everybody leave, but it's right in these papers, I have proof. Kathleen, can we go down and play disc golf tonight? Your reply, all night if you'd like to. Kathleen, can we drink? Drink whatever you want. Is the board aware of that? Because we're all aware of this.
I get it. But
And it looks like-
Kathleen's not running the park.
Okay, you think,
I know.
you think she's not dealing with these disc golf players behind your back.
You're
Good God, if you trust
One at a
her
time.
now-
One at a time.
If you trust her now, you have no business sitting up there. None of yous do, if you trust anything that comes out of her mouth. Because she lied and lied. I would like to know who paid for all the food vouchers for these disc golfers that Kathleen handed out to them. The booze, everything else that Kathleen, did the citizens of Wesley pay for that? These are questions I want to know. I want to know, is there a contract under the table? Is there a lease under the table that you guys don't know about? Because all the rest of us know about it.
Well, all I can tell you is, Connie, I will talk to the disc golf guys, since you're bringing this up. I have no problem talking to them. I have no clue about the disc golf thing.
They also posted, and I don't know if any of them's here, I don't have anything against anybody personally. I don't have anything against the disc golfers. Except going down there and taking over our park when most of them aren't even Wesley Township citizens. I have a problem with them being on the park committee.
But it is a public park.
Okay? I had a problem with them being on, this is Wesley Township,
Okay?
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 We had a committee of 5.
Mhm.
I'll be honest with you. I was right in the middle of the petition that went around.
Okay?
I was right behind it. And this is the reason why. No 5 people in this township should ever make any decisions that involves the whole township. The electors should be the ones voting. That's the way I feel. I think that's the way a lot of other people.
You're right, Connie, and there was no voting in there. There was a group of citizens or a group of public people that were coming together and discussing it. There was absolutely no voting power at any time. What they were doing was bringing suggestions to the board. And so when I had copied all of that down and wrote it down, I had even wrote on the rules that these are proposed rules. So the things that were brought to the board were proposed. Nothing was ever made official, nothing was ever voted on. It was just a group of citizens or a group of individuals sitting down talking about the park and how we could make it better and how we could go forward from here. So there was absolutely no voting power in there, and there was nobody making decisions for anything in
Well,
there.
this is the way I feel. It's Wesley Citizens Park, okay?
No, it's a public park.
Well, okay, but it was given to the citizens.
As a public park.
I
keep kicking.
I think if you say we can't camp, then we can't golf, we can't fish. It's not fair to choose what we can and can't do. That's how I feel about it. That's why I took the petition around. So everybody knows I was behind that petition.
You got it right.
Yes, I do.
You got more than
I
one.
also didn't like that it was put on Facebook that just a few of us troublemakers. Now, I've fought for this township for 4 years. I was one of the people, Sherry was one of the people, Leonard was one of the people that got the other crooked officials the hell out of here, okay? I don't regret 1 second of it. But I have my opinions, and to be told that I'm a troublemaker that is trying to keep this township from moving forward was kind of a slap in the face as much as I had fought.
Well,
Might I ask who
I'm
said
not
that?
sure who said it, Connie, and it wasn't me. I can tell, because you want to know
Wasn't
something?
me.
I don't even read social media. I don't know the comments that are on there. As far as I'm concerned, I wish if there was a way to abolish it, I'd abolish it. But it can't, because,
Here's where I am with the township. For 50+ years, this township has been crooked as hell.
okay.
It's been people that do things the way they choose to do them. I was also told when you took the swing set down, I agree, it probably needed to come down, but it was in the winter time, You took it down, it was an OMA violation. Bottom line,
Okay,
OMA violation, okay?
there's measures to,
All you
there's
had
measures
to
to
do,
file
though,
against
is
it.
what I'm saying, all you had to do was say to the people, you know what, guys, we screwed up. Everybody screws up, everybody makes mistakes. You know, we're gonna try not to ever do it again. But the attitude I got, it needed to come down, it came down, and that did. So, yeah, I get offensive once in a while. But a lot of times it's the things that have been said to me that should have never been said.
Okay, we're a little long there.
We need to move on.
Is that, those people still here?
What
You're
you
saying made those comments?
Yeah, they're around.
Are they on the board?
It's okay.
Are they on
just,
the board? Yes, no?
Well,
no.
Okay. Okay, Carol, Dave,
I'm one of the troublemakers too.
Can we like not, I mean, I'm not
I'm
understanding.
a deplorable as well, just so you know.
Okay, so we can keep this civil and in a nice manner,
Well,
that we can all have a good
I was just
relationship.
thinking right, but I'm sorry.
Okay, no, that's okay, but I just want people to know that I, as well as other board members, I don't feel that way. I don't feel that
I
anybody's
don't
a
feel
troublemaker.
that anyway either.
So I just want to
don't
be-
consider her a troublemaker, I don't consider me
I
a
just want to be
troublemaker.
clear about that you are not viewed as a troublemaker in here. So go ahead.
Thank you.
Dave.
And I think,
But I would like to know who gave the disc club the authority to commandeer the entire park.
Dave, I would too.
I can tell,
I would love to know
That
that.
is a bunch of crap, and that needs to be changed right away, because that park is for everybody. It's not exclusively for disc golfing. It doesn't say Rivals Lookout Park Disc Golf Course.
That's true.
You can't
Yes,
go
it
there,
does.
you can't go there on a Sunday and throw a football after 12. You know, and the whole thing, I've seen that map of the course. It does appropriate the entire park. The fairways and everything, that one, what is it, like the fourth hole that cuts across the whole thing, and then you come back again, takes up the whole entire middle. There's like one 10-yard spot right in the middle that wouldn't be in jeopardy of being in somebody's way, and they have no right to commandeer it like that.
Dave, you're right. And the resolution we just passed here, but to limit that authority from everyone, including the disc golfers, I'm 100% behind you, okay? Now, is there actually a sign down there that says Rivals Outlook Disc Golf Club? Can someone answer that? Is there actually a sign there?
the websites are merged with,
Well, they better get unmerged.
But what I'm asking you, is there actually a sign down there that says
No,
Rivals
well,
Outlook Golf Club?
there is on the Rivals Park
There is?
website, there's a, I don't believe so.
It's on the holes.
But you can't authorize somebody to do that in the dark.
okay, the clock's running, we gotta get going. Hold it, let him finish. I'm sorry, Sharon, just let him finish. Okay, we got it. Okay, thank you.
Were you done, David?
Were you done, buddy?
This is for Leonard, because he was just asking. That you don't know about the disc club. I don't know if they're in this room right now, some of them, but it's all over their Facebook. Please show up in the meeting Tuesday
I
night.
saw that comment, yes. Yes.
$30 entry fee plus sponsors.
Yeah, but don't hold it, let her finish.
Well, that's basically it, if you want to know who might be, there might be some of them in here, I don't know.
I'll find out.
and where's their donations?
They just donated before the meeting.
Yeah,
I mean,
just
in
real
John,
quick, it's-
wait a minute, let me get this
One
guy.
at a time, guys.
Okay, you're done for a while, you're going.
I think talking to several people, I don't live here, I'm a troublemaker, just kidding.
But yes,
But
you
we
are.
like you though.
The issue is when any group, has, and yeah, we can take the, you guys, I think you're in the disc golf thing. I don't know, maybe not, but.
I don't sweat.
But they give the appearance that they have the park reserved every Sunday afternoon through the majority of this summer. It's on their Facebook. So that leads the residents to think that they can't use the park every Sunday afternoon for the rest of the summer because somebody else has it. Now, if that's not the case, maybe all the town board needs to do is say, you know, we have not granted them authority to take over the entire park every Sunday afternoon at any time, and we will certainly not call the police if you decide to bring a teepee and set it up right in the middle of this golf course while they're playing.
If that park can't be shared, it can't be used.
I mean,
And anybody should be able to do exactly what you're asking.
I think that's a public statement that the board needs to tell the residents, and then they'll quit worrying about whether they go down there on a Sunday afternoon during the summer.
I'd be more than happy to make that statement.
Absolutely.
I'd be more than happy to make that statement. If the disc golf thinks they can come in there at will and control the park, from this board member standpoint, they got nothing coming.
From mine too.
And actually, with that being said, they submitted a list of things that they would like to do to that park. Ask Mike, Mr. Goodwin, the first thing I said is, that needs to be approved by the board
Right.
first.
That's right.
I'm under the same mindset as you guys are, okay? It's a public park, everyone has access to it, and no one individual club, group should control it at all. And if there's a control factor going on there, my humble opinion, yes, it needs to stop. FYI, I had a little insight to this program, made a phone call last week, I done a little research. My ex-son-in-law is actually a treasurer for that people, okay? I called him, asking what was going on. He says, all we are is a bunch of guys that want to get together on a Sunday afternoon and throw frisbee. I said, what does it cost you to join? Nothing. I says, what does it cost you to participate? He says, if we got awards and stuff, he says, yes, we pay an entry fee. I says, and what about the park? He says, all guys donate their time. He says, that's the reason we play, because it's free. You know where my mindset went with that? Ain't nothing free, guys. Townships are paying for it.
Okay, let me get, Carol, you've been waiting, you're done? Okay, Keith, I believe your name is, right?
Yeah, my name's Keith Phelan. I went to college up in Aurora, and I'm not a member of that golf club, but I've probably played more frisbee golf than most of the people in this room back in my college days. I love it, it's fun. And yes, it might take over too much of the park, and I kind of agree with it, even though I don't go to the park that much. But is there a way that instead of it being 18, I don't even know how many holes it is.
I think they added in a bunch more baskets. Is what the
If
big
it's only
issue
9.
is.
I was gonna say, if it's 18 holes, is there any way we could cut it down to 9 and give
It's 9 with
half the park back
two
or
launch
whatnot,
spots,
but
but I think they put in a bunch more.
Since it's a public park, it has to be shared. We can't tell them they can't come there, but we can tell them they can't take over the park.
But if me and my family went and had a picnic and on Sunday at 1 o'clock in
Absolutely.
the morning, my 2-year-old gets hit in the head with a frisbee, I'll be one pissed off person
I
there.
get you.
Every next month.
No, the problem is, everyone's gonna have to learn to be respectful of each other, and you can't legislate respectful. I mean,
I'm just saying, I'm not going to
One person at a time.
just one person. Go
I'm
ahead,
not going to a real golf course and
I get you.
having one on a fairway, because that golf ball won't feel good, just like the frisbee golf course won't feel
Yeah.
good.
Kurt,
I think she was ahead of me.
Brenda, go ahead.
They're an organization that charge people for tournaments and such. Do they have their own insurance? They should be covered. Any organization that gets together carries their own liability. We should have a copy of that on file.
I'll take it one step further than that. If they're gonna call themselves an organization, they better be able to approve it through the Illinois Secretary of State.
They have sponsors.
But-
Okay.
Another thing, they've got, like I said, every Sunday booked up. I've had several people in the neighborhood ask, let's get some people together, do an Easter egg hunt with the kids. Go back to the way we used to use the park. as a community. Everybody get together on one Sunday, put your eggs together. You get together the Easter Sunday, put them out for the kids. Problem is, they have the park as of noon. Not on Easter Sunday?
They don't have the park.
No, I'm
They
just
don't have
saying,
the park.
but we can't take these kids out there to do an Easter egg hunt with these frisbees flying everywhere. We're paying taxes to keep this community going. We're gonna have to do some give and take. I don't have a problem with the golf cart, but at noon is when everybody gets out of church and would like to do something for Easter with our children.
I agree, but we're gonna have, and I'm not for or against any of it. All I'm telling you is we are gonna have to learn to work together because it is a public park. And there's no other way you can put it than that. Kirk?
Two comments. One, in regard to being a troublemaker, I acknowledge, I fully admit, for God and country. This statement refers to being a troublemaker. Captain Kennedy, you need to resign. You were part of this problem from the beginning. You've been a problem ever since. You continue to be dishonest with people. You put things on Facebook that are dishonest. After we called you out recently, you deleted it all. But you have no problem getting special treatment for things you're interested in, just like was brought up tonight, telling people it's okay to drink whatever they want at the park while everybody else can't drink. That's not the type of leadership the township board needs. So from a troublemaking standpoint, you need to resign. You're a disgrace.
Yes.
I would encourage, for those that haven't been to an annual meeting before, the one thing that I think will make things go really easy is the board don't take the seat at the table as the board to start the annual meeting.
Correct.
Because it sends a signal. Leave it all empty, whoever the clerk did, the clerk,
I'm the only one that acts in official capacity
You
at
betcha,
that.
and then
Right.
you basically run that to get the moderator, and then that person sits at the board and manages it, and it should tone down a lot of.
Yeah,
where people
because
will
they're
go.
all there as residents if they choose to be so, as voting
You bet.
members, so
And
yes.
I only mention that because those that haven't been through it, we've seen enough township meetings, annual meetings, where the board takes the seat and they call it to order, and it's like they're still running the
No.
people's meeting.
No.
Now, Mike and I had that discussion as well,
gonna
so
happen.
yes,
Not
thank you
gonna
for
happen,
pointing that
Kurt.
out.
Sue?
I'm sorry for two comments, but I kind of feel like if that whole disc golf issue is a problem, perhaps the board could consider removing disc golf from the park. I mean, it is an option, so I would just say, acknowledge that, consider it. If this is a problem, we don't need disc golf. What it appears that people want is the ability to camp and fish and gather at the pavilion and do whatever party they want to do. And, there seems to be an option.
Sue, I agree with you. And that goes for any type of structured activity down there. If we had a Boy Scouts down there on a regular basis, and they were taking over the park, that's getting out of hand too. If they were there every Sunday afternoon, and all they want, camp all over the place, can't get anybody else in there to enjoy the Sunday afternoon, that's wrong. The Girl Scouts is doing it, that's wrong. And it's definitely wrong if we got a quote-unquote a club, they're not even calling themselves an organization here, calling themselves a club that thinks that this is their backyard or their private playground. From this guy's opinion, that's wrong. This is wrong.
And
And if they want to come across and write a check for the complete monthly maintenance of that park, you know what? Then they deserve a little recognition and maybe a time slot here and there.
That's not valuable.
Well, I don't mean as far as a guarantee, but yes, then they've earned their keep. But the way it is now, it seems that the citizens, I'd be one of them, the electors, is putting the bill for what they want to do, and that's the way it is. I'd like to ask Kathleen Kennedy how come this happened last year, and it had already been a midnight shut or dusk to dawn shut off at this point in time. You can look at it, Mike.
You may not ever know that.
Kathleen did, that's why I was asked.
Sue, were you done with your time?
Sue, are you done?
Were you done?
Well,
we're running out of time here,
We're
so
about to
just,
run
I
out.
was gonna offer before I let someone else.
And keep the names that straight, sorry.
I knew it. So we got Carrie over there
Oh,
was next.
sorry.
Carrie Wilson. I want to say that I myself do use the disc golf, and I have a handicapped son who he gets out and he moves, and he does use it. And without him using that, he'd be sitting at home doing nothing. So I say the disc golf is good. I know we got to work on how we can share it, the park on Sundays, but we got to keep the disc golf, even for the kids to get out there and play. Because it is fun. I enjoy it.
Several of our own kids use it also.
So we just need to limit it and work together on it. And I think this is the best way to do it, because obviously some of you guys like it. I got one back here, Phil, that got me. Gentleman back here.
Matt, neighboring. No, I just want to tell you part too, like, I hope that everybody thinks about, like, the fiscal responsibility of the park before the vote, like, because it's a slippery slope. I think we need to make sure that our finances are in order before we start adding to it, you know, with the electric and the water. I think starting off, it's fine. I'm not saying I'm not for or against camping and all that stuff. I think you just start slow and make sure that we can afford it before we keep getting out. No, I know, but I'm just saying, the way it is now, with people saying, oh, I'm from a water tank and this and that, I'm just saying, I hope we can use some common sense and just start slow and make sure we can afford things first. And for disc golf, that's been going on for a while now. I don't myself disc golf, but like, again, I hope we can find some kind of common ground, because it's like have we had any problems in the past with like golf, you know, for disc golfers versus people being away from it, you know what I mean? So for the past couple of years, it's been fine. People have gotten along, people have found a way to make it work. So I would hope that everybody just could kind of use common sense and, like you said, find some kind of common ground to meet in the middle and make it work, rather than pit everybody against each other to say, well, we can't do this or we can't do that, so we shouldn't do anything.
Thank you.
That's all.
How long have they been having tournaments down there prior to
I'm
this?
sorry, can I have your name?
Jackie Lieberman. Have they had tournaments down there prior to this year? Is this the first year that they're holding Sunday tournaments?
Yeah, they have.
Okay, was it an issue on Sundays?
Pardon me?
How many people show up to these tournaments, do you know, offhand? 10, 15, 20?
It was one year they were charging for
I'm a
parking.
disc golfer and I
Use it a lot, so I'm gonna make a comment in a minute. I've been asked by those people to join them
Yeah.
because they're just out having a good time. They're very considerate, and I have never gone, but I thought it was Wednesdays, but I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, and we live close to the park. We don't use it as often as probably some other people. However, I mean, I can tell you, being out on the river and being down on the boat, I've never seen more than 10 cars there. So I think that we're making a mountain out of a molehill as a whole. People are fighting about something that may not even be an issue, we're just making it one, because there's disc golfers there. But I think we're fighting against something to fight against it instead of figuring out a solution.
Well, what's a non-issue to one person is an issue to another person, and that's why we got to find the proper balance to make all this work together. Look, I have confidence we will. But again, we'll know a lot more about what we're going to do after the 14th of next month.
Yeah, please comment.
And then the funding as well.
Phil Goodwin, I just want to say I want to commendate the board for being open and honest so we can have discussions like this. And I understand where you're coming from. I am a disc golfer. Those people down there are wonderful to work with, because I play down there all the time. If their pavilion and the kids are spilling out, you don't play the hole. You go around it. The campers have all the way along the river, so fishing and swimming and boating have nothing to do with the disc golfers, because they're up higher than that. Now the campers, the big campers, like to keep infringing on the big open park, so their campers have been hit a few times with frisbees. But I'm like what that lady said, I really like it. The people are good. I've never had an issue down there. I've never seen anybody. Like I said, I've seen a lot of people skip half the course because other people are using it. That's my experience, and I'm a disc golfer too. So I just want to put a little bit of positiveness on them. I'm not in their club. I've never been in their games or their competitions. I just want to put a spin on the other side a little bit. Thank you.
Tully?
Real quick, Kelly, so if we're asking about the disc, you know, if say this hits a child or whatever, they should have insurance, does that mean that someone that's playing football should also have insurance in case it hits a child?
It's a good question.
You know?
Or if somebody's playing,
They're not, they're an organization.
They're quote unquote an organized group.
They're probably,
Because they're an organized.
They're an organized group, quote unquote.
okay,
Kirk, we gotta wrap it up here, we're beyond the,
That'd be real quick, Mike.
go buddy.
Just want to let you know, in regards to the water issue, the quote-unquote free water that's on the ballot, or on the agenda, when you create your policy for the park, if you do end up with quote-unquote free water, that's for use of park operations, and anybody that comes in to fill a fertilizer tank, that's called theft of the public resources.
Okay.
And that can be addressed in a policy, just so you know. There's a way to prevent that, because the water is specific for park operations and park use. So it would prevent people from coming down there and doing that. That would be a crime.
Or watering for days like Norton did last year.
Pardon me, ma'am.
Or watering for days. The water's not potable,
Right.
okay? And it probably shouldn't be turned on all the time. Norton went down there, hooked up water hoses and watered the whole damn place for days.
Okay.
What do you think that's gonna do to
I think we have one more person here, and then we need to wrap it up.
Betty Hatfield.
Betty Hatfield.
Why couldn't we, like you say, it's gonna cost us to maintain that, why couldn't the golf place also pitch in on, paying for the maintenance also?
Well, the donations come into the park, and that is gonna be part of how it's paid for.
Yeah.
And they do donate to the park.
Okay, they do.
Oh, yeah, oh, yeah, they do, on a regular basis, so they're putting something in. All right.
All right,
That's it.
so.
Motion to adjourn? Second?
Motion to adjourn.
Okay, hold- give me just a minute.